ecstasy.
What's up, everyone? Shaq here for EDM.com, and you know who this is. Dang. Off a 12K pop-up show just like that in San Diego. Baby number 2 on the way?
Very on the way.
Very. Hopefully not during this meeting.
That would be iconic.
It would be iconic. Well, then maybe a small glimmer of hope for that.
Yeah.
And the release of Ghost World dropping December 5th. Alison Wonderland, how are you?
I'm so good, and it's so good to speak to you again. We were just reminiscing because the last time we spoke, you were in a tiny house, and it was amazing.
Fun fact, first ever DJ I had interviewed back when I was with another publication. And it was like pulling teeth to get them to approve DJs at the time. And so it was after this interview that I was like, I need to do this more. And so that was the spark that got me at EDM.com. So it's nice to see you.
What?
Yeah. Isn't that?
Oh my God, that makes me so happy. I think we should thank the tiny house.
The tiny houses, yes. One particular tiny house Instagram channel that we won't talk about, not so much, right?
I was just telling him before, and we can totally say this. I follow this tiny house account.
Please.
And I think they sneakily sold it to another account, and it became like a porn account. And I was just like scrolling through my normal thing. I'm like, wait, I didn't subscribe to this. Then I realized that they sneakily like changed owners from the tiny house account. And it was really like, I was like, who's the crossover here? Who's the crossover?
It's not you. That's for sure.
I mean, there were boobs. I was like, okay, why are there boobs on my thing? And then you can't complain about boobs though.
No, but the boobs weren't in the tiny house, right? Just totally.
It had nothing to do with the tiny house.
That sucks. That's lame.
They switched it over. And I'm like, where's my tiny house content? And then I was like, it was just like boob house.
This went from such a wholesome to such a like debaucherous start in record time.
That's basically what I like my DJ sets to kind of to be. So.
Well, then let's start with my first question here. Were there any concerns about like the 8-month baby bumping into like a slider or an equalizer during your pop-up in San Diego?
Well, this isn't my first rodeo, so I know how to maneuver around it. And look, I do want to say, like, this is a big preface for anyone watching this. Like, I get monitored really closely when I'm performing, and I'm this far out. And we make sure everything's safe for me and the baby. And actually, there was a video that went viral because I don't really care if people smoke at my shows. Like, I don't give a shit, but I was smelling it so badly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, can you guys? And then I just was like after I have the baby, you can totally blow like whatever you want, smoke in my face, like totally fine. But everyone was really cool and respectful. And so that was good. And so I appreciate everyone. The vibe was crazy. And yeah, I don't really have, I just feel like I was also supposed to play for an hour, but I was so into the set and the crowd that I played for 2. And I think I'm a thing called tour fit, which is what a lot of us artists say, where we can just play for hours and not feel out of breath or anything. And it feels kind of like that. You know, I can hardly walk up steps right now, but I can play a 2-hour show. It's weird. It's like something clicks in my head. So that was awesome. It was great. I had a really good time. Like I love DJing, so I'm just happy up there.
I was digging into the album, and one of the things you said that really piqued my curiosity is that this is the truest you felt to your sound in a very long time. So I guess to tee it up, my first question, when is the last time you felt this true to yourself as an artist?
I've always felt like true to myself as an artist in terms of the content I'm putting out. And I've never been, disingenuous about that. But in terms of this album, I really made sure that there were no other external voices influencing that. And so I ended up A&Ring the album myself and getting the people that I really thought got me and I'd want to collaborate with by myself. And it felt very real. And I think the thing that made me go, fuck all the outside voices. And like, I just want to say my label in Australia, EMI, Australia that I'm signed to for this album, they were really respectful of this and like really they just said we just want you excited. That's all they said to me. And like name another fucking record label that lets you do whatever you want. FMU Records, obviously. But anyway, that's my record label. I'm just but so basically the piece of work I'd made before Ghost World was actually my side project, WHYTE FANG. And I'd done a whole album with that called Genesis. And it was just like me in a studio. And I was really enjoying it and I was really having fun. And, you know, when I was thinking about writing another album for Alison, I'm like, who is she now? Because like I feel really lost. I don't really feel like a part of anything. And I just went, fuck it, like channel that, have fun, like how you did with the WHYTE FANG album and shut out all the other voices. And it just really felt fresh again. And for me, like to be able to put out a body of work that means something and I think translates properly, it has to come from a place that I'm super excited about and I truly mean. And this one, it's funny, like so many people have said already, it's reminiscent of Run, which was kind of the energy I had when I made Run. So, you know, Run, but 2025.
10-year anniversary,
so
right?
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you remember any like detours you took along? Like you say that you put so much emphasis on shutting out outside noises. Do you recall any experiences where you're like, this is still my body of work, but I feel like maybe I let too many external things influence me? Like, how do we have this epiphany?
I never really, it wasn't having like, it was more just opening myself up to those conversations in the past with people like, whose opinions I don't think I really respected. And then it felt a little bit more like a battle for me creatively. And eventually what I put out was what I wanted to put out, but it was way more of a strenuous experience for me. And also with Ghost World, I wanted to be able to play like the songs from the album in my set and not have to make a billion edits of it. Like I just want it to be like what the songs were.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt with Run, and that's how I felt with the WHYTE FANG album and Away. I just, you know, it just started steering in a direction where I wasn't really sure if that was right. And I think I like my creative process, I like to zone out and be in a flow state. It was getting really interrupted in the past. And so I think that's the difference between that and this. And like, you know, my manager and my label were all just like, all we want from this album is for you to be excited, because otherwise, what's the fucking point? And it was like the coolest thing that they'd said to me. And it's how I feel any artist should feel when releasing. And I didn't feel like, oh, like this was such a terrible experience. I was like, fuck yeah, like let's go. And I think you can hear it in what I've already been releasing. And it just, I feel like fresh and free. And I've been experimenting a lot with like my vocals and the effects and, you know, going back to my roots a lot more. And it's kind of what I naturally gravitate towards. And when I was doing Genesis, like the WHYTE FANG album, like I was realizing that, you know, and so it kind of led to this.
Speaking, you mentioned WHYTE FANG so much. Can you walk me through the logistics of an Alison Wonderland WHYTE FANG collab? Is there a costume change? Is there like a mental switch? Are you guys both in the same room at the same time, or do you have to like fire it back from one to the other?
Yeah, I've never met her before. That was the only track on the album where I really felt there were a lot of external pressure for me to get this feature. And I really didn't want to have her on the album. I've heard she's really difficult, and she was really difficult to work with, and actually never met her. I was just sent some files. So yeah, I would say that was probably the worst track experience in collaborating. She was the most difficult.
Divas, man. Hollywood's chock full of them.
Yeah.
Can you walk me through so I know on Psycho, which is like this huge collaborative track, I saw on one of your Instagram posts you mentioned that the 3 different drops describe that there's one drop, one for each of your personalities. Can you walk me through the 3 different personalities of Alison Wonderland?
I mean, honestly, you just have to listen to the track, because it was That is a mega collab. Can I just shout out the collaborators
Please.
on that? It was originally just me and Member, actually. And we'd started it together. And then Quicks heard me drop I'd only had like a vocal and like a kind of not final drop that I'd just been playing in my sets. And he was like, whoa, what is this? What is this? Can I remix it? And I was like, yeah, dude, I don't know what we're doing with it. Like, for sure. And then he took the track and did this crazy remix where the drop was like undeniably better than the drop that we had, like way better. To the point where I was like, I should just quit fucking music right now. And so I said to the member boys, like, I want to put this as the drop, like the first trap drop. And they're like, whoa, this is insane. So we all just thought it was a no-brainer to add him onto the track. And then Eric the Architect, who I have collaborated with in the past, he, is a part of Flatbush Zombies. He's a legacy act at this point and an incredible, incredible artist. Like, I can't say enough nice things about him. I just heard another voice on the track, and I called him, and I actually posted the phone call on my Instagram. And I did that thing. I don't know if you always, where you try and ask someone something, then you're like, oh, good if not, like, just asking.
Every time.
It was that. But it was such a weird kind of left of center track to send to someone not in the electronic world. And I was a little worried because I think it's a little hard to understand without context and without like the whole song done. And he straight away got it. And an hour later sent me this crazy verse, and it just made so much sense on the record. So he got added. And then I was just like, I want this track to be so fucking stupid and ignorant and crazy because it's how I'm fucking feeling. That the second drop, I was just like, fuck it, no rules. That's what this song is about, no rules. And it seems to be doing good. Like, I'm really happy that, I was able to put that out as a single and people got it. And, even now, just as it's come out, I'm seeing like whole crowds singing the lyrics, and it's awesome. So if you are watching this and you have been to a show and I've seen you sing the lyrics, I'm so grateful, because I was a bit worried that it was a little too much for some people. But it's how I'm feeling. And like, honestly, I'm just in my fuck it stage of life.
And also very cozy. I should have dressed for the occasion because I'm so cold right now.
Listen, hoodie weather is amongst us. It's coming, and I'm just prepping because it's my favorite type of weather. Because
yeah. Well, and on the note of awkward DM interactions, thanks for being so chill and helpful when I asked you for a horror movie recommendation.
Oh yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. Did you use it?
Well, the plan is, and I am procrastinating, but I think I'll make it September 31st, October 1st, we drop it, and then people have a whole month to watch all their horror movies.
Sweet.
Yeah. By the time this interview comes out, this will be kind of old news, but if you are a horror fan...
But the 70s version. Don't watch the Nicolas Cage version. I love Nicolas Cage, but like, it's not it.
Yeah.
If you want to, like, this is my favorite horror movie of all time. It's called Wicker Man, and it's a really cool... from 1973 or 74. I don't know.
You better get this right, or you got big shoes to fill.
And it's really, really cool. And it's a subgenre of horror called folk horror. So I would say like the movie that pulled a lot of influences from this movie would be Midsommar, like pretty obviously. So this is like the original kind of mood board for that. And it is my favorite horror movie ever.
I love that this came up because I was just... So by the time this video comes out, people will know about this already. But if you're a horror movie fan and you missed it, we're going to have... we have a 10 DJ Halloween horror movie watch list for you. I was going to write all the synopses, but thank you for doing my job for me. I'm just going to quote you and throw that in there. It did me a solid just now.
Yeah, I mean, also special shout out to Pearl, because that's my husband made that movie, and it's really cool.
Is that your personal favorite of the three?
Yeah.
They're all great for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I think I'm on the same page as you.
Yeah. And like...
Go watch X, go watch Pearl, and then go watch Maxine.
Yeah,
You got a whole
in that
got a whole
order.
weekend out of it.
It goes X, Pearl, Maxine. Because someone asked me once, they're like, "Hey, can you ask Ty like what order we watch this in?" And he was like,
Just
"X, Pearl, Maxine."
the order
Okay.
it came out. People try to get too fancy with it. You know, with like Star Wars, they have all these different ways of trying to watch it and not spoil things. Just watch the movies the way they
Yeah,
came out, guys.
but I feel like X is probably more of a classic horror movie, but Pearl just I don't know. Yeah, I'm a psycho. Like it just makes I relate.
I love. We got to move on here, but I just to finish on this note, I love the end credits for Pearl. It
Oh
is
my God.
so
Yeah.
ridiculous and
You
unhinged.
read, he just kept it going, the
Yeah.
camera. It's amazing.
Last serious question, because I do have more nonsense to wrap up on, because it is my
Love.
favorite stuff. I saw a quote you gave about the new album, which was, "I often feel like I'm wandering this earth trying to find my home, both artistically and personally." Through this creative journey, have you made any discoveries about yourself?
It's just made me kind of more confident and okay with just being in my own lane and having my own ecosystem, I think, because I guess like sometimes I get really sad that I don't have like a clique or a collective to kind of big ups me in the scene. I've never
Mm.
really felt like I've had that. It's not like me boo-hooing it. It's just kind of how it's always been, I think. I don't know why. I That's just what it's been. And I've just had to become a little bit more okay with that. I think in the past I'd be like, well, why kind of like I just never felt like where if I knew where I fit in, or how
Mm.
to define myself as an artist. And I just kind of stopped thinking about it a little bit more that I've made this album because I feel like I'm making my own world for it. And it's so funny. A lot of people have come up to me and said they're feeling the same way in their own world, in their own life.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this since high school, so maybe I need to see more of my therapist. But
Yeah, don't we all?
yeah, yeah, I just really truly feel like I don't know where I fit in. I have a song on the album called "Is This the End," which was a really, I mean, I put it as the last song because I'm a bit, it's really hard for me to even listen to, but it was like an honest conversation with myself where I started feeling really replaceable in the industry.
Mm.
Um, and like not the shiny new thing anymore. And it was a bit of an ego death. But I definitely struggled with thinking about if I can do this anymore or not. And partially it was I didn't know where I fit in, and it was kind of like, mm, it just was like not encouraged. I wasn't feeling very encouraged, to be honest. But I kept going, and I will keep going, and I'll keep making music because that's something I could never imagine myself not doing. It was more just like, how much of myself can I be giving anymore? Because what am I getting back?
Mm.
And sometimes when you're, emptying the cup and it's not refilling, it's really, really mentally and emotionally a lot.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the vulnerability. Does seeing 12,000 people roll up at the beach and singing along to every word of Psycho, does that do anything to help sort of fill that
Yeah, I
cup?
mean, like to be honest, even if one person comes up to me and they understand what the album's about or they've listened to it properly,
Mm.
it really just makes me feel okay, like that I've at least reached someone. And a few days before that, I did a meet and greet and a signing, and the things that people were talking to me about and my fans were discussing with me, I just felt like so seen. Which is why I'm really grateful for my fans because I say this pretty much every show at the moment because they need to know that part of the reason I kept going and kept making this album and working through my own like little ego death was because of them. Like they believe in me, and is there more fuel in the tank? Yes. So I would be stupid not to keep putting myself out there.
Mm.
And every other, like everything comes in waves, which is another song on the album. But I also believe that. So I'm just, yeah, I'm just doing my thing. We'll see.
Well, for what my 2 cents are worth, I mentioned off the top how it was after our interview in that little tiny home that I was like, man, I got to do more EDM stuff. But it wasn't just that. I was pushing really hard when I was with ET Canada at the time to be on camera, and I kept getting no, and I kept getting no. And that interview, I thought went, so this was actually the crux of it. I was like, I should have known that the EDM community would be the place. But I remember coming out of that interview being like, that was so much fun. We were laughing, we were cracking jokes, we had such a good time. And it legitimately upset me that that video was never going to see the light of day. And within 6 months, I kind of gave them my ultimatum. They started putting me on camera. And now EDM's kind of the side gig. I work for CBS Sports, but full-time job is on-camera interviewing. And the genesis of that was our interview. So thank you.
You know how happy that makes me? Like, truly. I don't know. I want to give you a hug.
We'll make it. A side story. I was at Faded shortly after that, the year with you and Dead Mouse and Rez, because I was interviewing Dead Mouse at that event in Vancouver, but it was still kind of COVID-y, so people were kind of like, it was hard to get access. But I actually brought you a gift. It was an illustration book of Princess Mononoke. I don't think it ever reached you. But it's
Wait, did I think about the tree spirit sounds? Wait, have I told you about this?
Well, I know we talked about how much you love Princess Mononoke. So I bought a little illustration book. My wife made a candy with one of the little tree spirits on it. It was supposed to be delivered to your trailer. I don't know if it ever made it, but someone has a piece of candy in a book that was meant for you.
A light in my room just went off.
That's okay. It was very thematic.
I'm saying I just got goosebumps. It's crazy.
Well, if should we be in the same place, I'll grab another copy and I'll get my wife to make another piece of candy, okay?
That recently someone said to me, like, what's like the smallest, like the thing that's inspired you for a sound? And my answer was the tree spirits, because back in the day, percussion wise, I really liked how they sounded. I'd put them in my songs.
Crazy. We could do this all day, but I promised you 20 minutes.
Crazy.
So yeah, fun. Well, I'll make it a point next time I know we're at the same thing. I'll get you. It would be a good roundabout for me to finally get that gift to you.
Oh my God, I would love that. That's awesome.
Done.
This whole thing is very heartwarming.
Good. I'm happy to. Hey, it's what I'm here for. It's why I love the rave. I will tell you, interviewing UFC fighters every day, not quite this sappy and lovey-dovey.
Wait,
but
my husband would be so happy about that. He's like obsessed with UFC.
Okay. Well, we should figure out I feel like a couples interview would be really fun. So maybe next time we can figure that one out. All right. Let's wrap this up. I always got a little rapid fire tacked on at the end here.
Let's go.
First, what is the best Halloween costume you've ever put together?
I mean, the one that comes to mind was 2 years ago when I was Men in Black and my baby was an alien. I think that's maybe my best one. Yeah. Okay. Just because it's cute. It's so cute. I've done like darker ones, but this is the cutest one.
I love a group outfit, so I'm on board with this. I know you were big on running through sprinklers and jumping on trampolines as a child, but now as a parent, are we still on board with the trampolines, or do we identify them as the death traps that they are?
I freaked out, dude. I'm literally like, how did my parents let me do any of this shit? That I found a photo of me as a kid, and when I was growing up, I didn't have a bedroom. I had a mattress like on the floor in the living room. Mm-hmm. That's when it's so bad. And like all like things that were like sticky taped on the wall, but right next to my head on the bed, like right where the bed is, was 2 open power outlets. And I'm like, what? Like, why'd you? And my mom was like, it was fine back then, like just, no.
Yeah. I get that we've gone a little too far in the other direction on safety, but there's probably a middle ground.
Yeah.
I read about a studio session with you and Trippie Redd. How can anyone possibly be productive with that much smoke in the room? Because I could never.
I'm like such a lightweight when it comes to like secondhand smoke and weed. I get like super paranoid, and I think I said in the interview I had to ask them to chill out because I was trying to produce and I was going crazy. Like I was so high. And it's like I can't function. I do not like respect to anyone that gets high and can still function. I can't. I literally like see me in the hoodie. I will do this, but I'll like kind of like I just disappear into a wall. I can't. I can't even talk.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think we're all like relatively on the same page about how alcohol works, but like I will never touch my friend's stuff because they don't understand that I'm a baby.
oh my God, I'm such a baby in America. Like the weed is so fucking strong here. So yeah, I was really struggling, but we did it. And I love that song.
Last one. Which Alison Wonderland character do you think best describes your husband?
My husband, did you say?
Yeah.
The caterpillar. Who like he's very wise and like kind of grounded. And I would say the caterpillar because all the other characters are so like crazy and like he's kind of just is it the caterpillar? Yeah. He's just like no. Yeah, the caterpillar. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't ask
Because
me
is it
for feedback here. I
Godzilla?
asked the questions. I'm not here to answer them. I got no idea.
I don't know if I'm getting the Cheshire Cat or like the no, it's
No,
the
Cheshire
caterpillar.
Cat's freaky. Not the Cheshire
Yeah, yeah,
Cat.
yeah, no. The caterpillar is like really chill and just like blowing smoke and like being like a chiller and like like super just like in their little zone. Yeah, that would totally be him. Yeah,
Perfect. Well,
yeah.
Allison, that's all I got from you. So I would love to leave you for the last word. I would say we're 2-2 at home runs with these interviews. If there's anything you
Oh
want to
yeah,
tell the
agree.
people before the
Um,
release of Ghost World on December 5th, floor is yours.
yeah, yeah. You're gonna be bumping this album for at least 2 years. I know it. I mean, there'll be more music, don't worry, but like, I just have a feeling that this is gonna make a lot of people happy. And I do want to say that your happiness makes me happy, and anyone that listens to my music is you're the reason I keep going. Anyone that comes to a show, you're the reason I'm there, and I don't forget it. And I'm forever grateful that I'm able to still walk on a stage and people are still singing my songs even 10 years after run. And I just feel gratefulness is what keeps me going, and it's because of you guys. So thank you.